So the other day when we took some notes, we talked about the order of operations, and we talked about working the order of operations backwards, and we said something like SADMEP, right? SADMEP. But I also said that you don't necessarily work the order of operations backwards for every step. It kind of just depends on the problem. It's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally backwards. Okay. SADMEP. Let's see. Sally, Aunt, dear me, excuse, please. Right? All right. So a teacher said something that I thought was pretty cool. If we had a problem like 3x plus 2 equals 14, if you take just this expression part, the 3x plus 2, and let's say pretend that x, I'm goofing up here there. Pretend that x is 10. And so if I have 3 times 10 plus 2, what would I do to solve this problem? How would I use the order of operations here? What's the first thing we would do? Well, what does this specifically have us do right here? Let's multiply, right? So the first thing would be to multiply to solve this, and that would give me 30. You don't have to do it, you just have to think about it. And then what would the second thing be to do? Add the 2, right? So the second thing would be to add. So to solve this problem, I take these steps and I reverse them and change them. So it would be minus and then divide. So to solve this problem, I would first minus 2 to both sides, right? And that's going to give me 3x equals 12. And then I would divide. Now, before I go on with this, I just want to say, if you've already got a method that you're really comfortable with, that you work well with, I'm not suggesting a different method here. I'm just suggesting here's another way to look at it. And for those people that are maybe struggling with this, and this is fairly new for me, so I'm still kind of getting used to it a little bit. It's just another way that might help make sense. So let's look at a different problem. What if we look at a problem like this? And maybe we get confused about what to do first. There's actually a couple of things we could start with first, but what if we say pretend or let x equal some number, let's make it an easy number, 10, and if I put that in and I said 4 times 10 minus 2 divided by 5, what's the first thing that we would do if this was the case? Yeah, the first thing we would do is we would subtract the 10 and the 2, right? Yes? Then what would the next thing be? Yeah, we would take whatever we have here and we'd multiply these, right? So the next thing would be to multiply. And then the third step would be, then we would divide, right? We would do the division last. So, if I want to solve the equation, I work the problem backwards and I change the sign. I use the opposite signs. So the first thing I would do then is not the subtraction, I would do multiplication. What am I going to multiply? The 5, right. Oh, equals 100. Okay. It says the next step would be to divide. What would I be dividing by here? Yeah, by 4, exactly. So we didn't even have to distribute, right? And then the last step would be to add, which would be to add the 2. Now, if that looks like something where you go, yeah, sometimes I get mixed up on the steps, and maybe I could, like, practice that a little bit, yeah, call me over. If you need some help with that, I'll see what I can do to kind of help guide you on that for a little while until we get you comfortable with that. But I saw that the other day, and I thought, wow, that's an interesting way of looking at how to work the steps. Again, not suggesting you change a method that works, but if you're struggling, maybe this would work for you.